Learning to teach is a great experience, but when you start down that teaching road, there are a few big potholes that it's easy to fall into. Problems that I've seen hundreds of trainees have. So in this series, I'm looking at some of them and how you can avoid them. I'm Jo Gakonga from elttraining.com. I've got over 30 years experience in the classroom, 20 of them training teachers on courses like CELTA. And one of the things that I often see trainees do is fall into the trap of not starting a lesson off well. So if you want to know why this is important, what to avoid, and some ideas to help, then keep watching. Why is it important? Let's start with this. When you meet someone that you know on the street, what do? You smile, maybe you shake their hand, you greet them, you probably talk about inconsequential things like the weather for a few minutes. Anthropologists call this phatic communion. You don't really need to know or really probably even care about the rain, but it's the equivalent of scratching each other, making some human contact. And the same is true in class. First impressions are really important. And the start of the lesson often sets the tone for what follows, especially on a short lesson like CELTA teaching practice. If you engage learners from the start, they stand a much better chance of listening to you and being alert and awake and receptive to what you're trying to teach them. It'll make you feel more confident too. So what beginnings should you avoid? Nerves. You need to connect with your learners. So look at them, make eye contact, smile, put your best foot forward, put your shoulders down and back, breathe. Imagine you're meeting up with people that you know and you feel comfortable with. They're your friends. Kill the joy. If you go into a class and tell them, today we're going to learn the present perfect, you're not likely to be greeted with smiles and enthusiasm. It can be great as a learner to know what the aim of the lesson is, but I'd say it's best to get them interested first. Straight into exercises. This is similar to the last one. If you start a lesson with turn to page 56, then the learners are all looking down into the material that you've given and you've lost them right at the beginning. So I definitely suggest that you don't do this. Warmer exercises that are completely unconnected to the rest of the lesson. It's great to start off with something engaging, and I'm going to give you lots of ideas, but you want a warmer that's connected to the rest of your lesson. You don't want a big clunk when you go on to something else. So keep that in mind. Keep the theme the same. What's better? A much better way is to start a class with something that will interest the learners and preferably get them talking. Paired or group discussions are great for this. They get people engaged and they take the focus off you. If you're feeling a bit nervous, here's a chance for you to have a quick glance at your lesson plan. Breathe, smile. But what are they going to talk about, you ask? A picture. Images are great for discussion, and they're easy to find online on Pixabay, Unsplash, Morgfile, Canva. Would you like to go here? Which is the nicer place to live? What do you think this person is like? Write down 10 words from this picture. A question or two. Questions are also great starting points for a lesson. Make them interesting. What do you think about wearing a mask in shops? How about in parks? Are pets good for you? Which is the best place in the world to live? A competitive task. Competition can be a great way of livening up the start of a lesson. Keep it light and fun and have learners work in pairs so they're talking together. How many names of fruit and vegetables can you write down in 3 minutes? Write down a nationality beginning with every letter of the alphabet. A personalised story. The lesson shouldn't all be about you, but learners often like to find out something about their teacher. You could tell them something about yourself. Maybe describe a family member. Show them a picture. You could then ask them, of course, to do the same with a partner. Something surprising. One of my trainees once brought into class some autumn leaves. She gave one out to each learner and she asked them to talk together about their feelings about autumn. The simple presence of these leaves, and they were pretty, but they weren't extraordinary, they were just leaves, but it had a great power and it made that lesson start really well because the learners were surprised. So anything that you don't usually find in a classroom can have a very powerful effect. Try it. A word of warning. Just before we finish, let me leave you with a word of caution. If you have a fantastic warmer activity, it's very easy for that to stretch out into the rest of your lesson. Don't let it take too long. Think of the aim of this stage of your lesson. It's to get the learners warmed up, relaxed, interested, engaged. 5 minutes of a 45-minute lesson is enough for this. So keep an eye on the time. Okay, I hope that that's given you some food for thought and it'll help you to navigate around this particular pothole. See you again for more tips soon. And if you want more help with other aspects of your teaching, then do visit my website. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.